Hello, Chicago Bears fans, and welcome back to the channel. It is your average fan, AJ here, giving some DJ Moore a little bit of love in this video, as you can see there, giving DJ Moore some love. As always, jerseys come from China. Usually your telltale sign there is the numbers not quite big enough compared to the real deal. However, 20 bucks for a Stitch jersey, can't beat it, my friends. Now, I tried to do a live stream today, and I tested, and then when I went back in to start the stream, I had double inputted my mic, so it had a little bit of an echo. So I just want to take the chance to get a video done today to talk about what happened this weekend and what is going on inside the Bears locker room, because I don't believe it is any good, Bears fans. So let's just hop right into it. We'll start with the game. Again, the Bears came out super flat. They did not get the offense going at all. It seemed like they were pretty unmarried to the run game, which really sucks because DeAndre Swift had done a really good job of averaging, 100 yards per game for 3 games in a row there. Roschon Johnson was really good between the tackles for a couple of games, so I don't understand why you want to walk away from your run game at all. But hey, I'm not the offensive coordinator here, so I mean that would be a problem that we got to pick up with Shane Waldron. And then the biggest, what seems to be the biggest story of the game coming out of this weekend is Cole Kmet had 0 targets, and he had 1 target last week against the Commanders. I don't understand why you are walking away from what is arguably a top 5 tight end in the entire league. But hey, again, I'm not Shane Waldron. I think, unfortunately for the Bears, Shane Waldron has regressed back to that weeks 1 and 2. It seems like he is not scheming his blocks very well. Because again, you're not getting Shane Waldron the ball, or Shane Waldron, I'm sorry. You are not getting Cole Kmet the ball. You're not getting Keenan Allen the ball on crucial third downs. It seems like we don't really have a very good scheme to start the game for the first 15 plays of the game. So that's why I feel like they have definitely gone back to that weeks 1 and 2 style of play, which is really unfortunate because the Commanders and the Cardinals were 2 games that you definitely needed to win, because now you basically took yourself out of trade talks with anybody in the league, which really sucks because getting some offensive linemen help would have been really nice going into divisional play, because that left side of the line continues to be a problem for Caleb Williams. Again, a lot of people are starting to get into those Caleb Williams being a bust kind of talks, and I don't think he's a bust. I don't think it is a player personnel issue. I think it is a coaching personnel issue, because you're not using everyone the way they should be used. I don't know how many times I said that in my live stream today. I don't know how many times I've said it in the past, but you are walking away from using players the way they should be used. I don't understand it. While I will agree with a lot of podcasts that I heard today at work, I don't think that Shane Waldron necessarily called a bad game, but some of his schemings just did not play to players' strengths today. And I think that as the game progressed, the Cardinals defense did a really good job of breaking down our line and exposing that left side, because they got to Williams in a hurry, and they did it often. So you couldn't establish your run game. When you established a little bit of a run game, you walked away from it. So you couldn't establish your mid-range ball, and you definitely couldn't establish your deep ball. Although there was a really good pass to Rome Odunze, which Rome Odunze at least had himself a good, decent game. I think he had wound up with about 90 yards in yesterday's game. Which, if you look at my keys to the game, I did have Odunze on because I picked him to be my top key to the game for that. So, hey, at least good day for Rome Odunze, so I'm happy to see that. Now, on the Defensive side of the ball, man, oh man. Cardinals just ran it down your throat all game long, really, unfortunately. And, I think that, the Bears defense has done more than enough to hold you in games all year long. I felt like it was going to crash inevitably, and not having Montez Sweat available for the game, that is where we finally saw it. They just ran all over us all game long. Our secondary did secondary things again. I think that they shut down the pass game at least semi-decently well today. Again, I don't have the stats right in front of my face right now to be able to tell you what they were. But then again, I'm not the biggest stats guy. I just like to share with you guys what I saw in the game. Now, the only stat that I have off the top of my head is I think Caleb Williams threw for like 41 or 42 times, and he only completed 21 or 22 of those passes. So that that completion percentage not there today. Like I said, I think with what the Bears did defensively, I think that they finally just hit a wall and kind of gave up going into half after that big explosive run to get Arizona a touchdown with just a few seconds left before the half. But, like I said, the Bears have done a really good job of holding you in games all year long. I knew that one game the Bears defense was just going to kind of shut down. And unfortunately, this was the game where that happened. They break their streak of 21 or less points allowed and allow 29. And in the Bears' loss to the Cardinals, 21-9. Let's talk about the coaching, because man, oh man, Bears fans, I think we're all on the same page. I think we're all out on Eberflus at this point. And I think most of us are out on Shane Waldron as well at this point because, like I said, you regress to what you did in weeks 1 and 2 instead of building upon what you did in weeks 3 through 6. But the big problem here is more on Eberflus. Again, lack of accountability. Again, you had your captains doing media sessions after the game, taking more accountability for the team as a whole, when, as I stated last week, that is not the players' job. The players' job is to take accountability for themselves, and the coach's job is to take accountability for the team as a whole. Again, you had Shane, and the biggest blunder, again, another big one this week, you left Caleb Williams in garbage time when you had no chance to come back at the game. And then, Williams winds up rolling his ankle, which hopefully that's nothing permanent. Hopefully it was just a little bit of a stinger that just made him kind of hobble off there. But again, you're again putting your rookie quarterback in positions that he shouldn't be in. And then you double down and say that you were just trying to get him work and get rhythm with 2-minute drills and all that stuff. Well, now is not the time to do it. If the game was reversed and the Bears were up 29-9, maybe, but even then, that is garbage time play, and I can't justify that. That is something that you work on in practice, and you drive it home in practice. You cannot do that to your rookie quarterback. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Patrick Mahomes. You cannot do that to your franchise quarterback because everybody's already calling this kid a bust, and it's not him. It is solely on the coaching. I mean, the offensive line is what the offensive line is, but it is in the coaching. You continuously put him in bad positions, and then you continuously double down on it. And then let's talk about the whole Tyreek Stevenson situation, because while I don't think that part of his apology last week was wholehearted, I do think that Stevenson at least had merit in his apology because he made some good stops in the game. He didn't show anybody up. He didn't get any dumb penalties. He put merit behind his apology. So I will give Stevenson credit for that. However, the defensive secondary was already thin, and your captains came out and said that he shouldn't be benched. All we can do is support him, help him learn, help him grow as a player. He is in his second year. He's still going to make some mistakes, and we are here to help him grow. And then what do? You turn around and you bench him and completely fumbled that one in the media as well, because it got misreported to when Tyreek Stevenson found out, he pulled himself from practice, and that was the only way it was reported initially. What really happened was he pulled himself for a minute just to gather himself, gather his thoughts, and then he rejoined the practice. So the media made that look a lot worse than what it really was. And the problem is I think that you saw in the game today that the locker room is starting to turn on him because there was a play in the game where DJ Moore got kind of led out of bounds by the defender, and instead of reestablishing himself in the play, he basically walked to the bench. And I get that that's the offensive side of the ball, not the defensive side of the ball, but that is one of your captains nonetheless. And the problem that I have with this, it's not that DJ Moore did it. It's what DJ Moore had said this morning on the Cap Show for ESPN 1000. They had asked, or not on ESPN, I'm sorry, 670 The Score. He was asked if Eberflus has lost the locker room, and he said, and I quote, I'd like to say no. I mean, just the response alone says enough, does it not? They're Bears fans. I mean, you put this players council together with your captains. You ask them to be vocal with you and be vocal with the media, and then they get vocal with the media after that loss to the Commanders, and then you tell them to keep it in-house. And now they're giving responses like, I'd like to say no, or, yeah, that's behind closed doors. Like, you're boxing them in, and then you bench Stevenson after your captains asked you not to. It's a top-down issue. Listen, I know that our offensive line has its problems, but even then, if you could coach them well enough, they could look better. But the problem is your coaches can't do that on a consistent basis. And then your head coach doubles down, triples down, and quadruples down on every blunder that the Bears makes. There's one time in the 8 weeks of football that we have gone through so far that Eberflus has taken accountability, and it was because he ran pass protection on that run play that led to a touchdown with 4 seconds left going into the half. And then at halftime, he says, this is the score, and we have each other. I'm sorry, but that does not sound like a head coach that has a lot of confidence to me. Something needs to change. I don't care if it comes from Ryan Poles and Mr. Warren himself. I don't care if it comes up top from the McCaskies, which, I mean, let's be honest, we all doubt that that would actually happen. But there has to be something from the top down here. I don't care if it is just the threat of losing a job or actually firing one of your coaches. The fact that Eberflus came out and said Shane Waldron is still calling our plays, I cannot believe that that is even an option at this point. I would even be okay with Eberflus calling all the plays on offense at this point because it has been a disaster, and the Bears have already shown signs that they're just going to wait until the offseason to do anything to help the offensive line or to help the offense whatsoever. They've kind of shown that they're out on this year. I think the players are turning their backs on the head coach. I hope that this will be a situation where when we had Jay Cutler, when he flipped off Mike Martz on national television and just started, calling his own plays out of spite to allow the offense to play better just out of spite. I really hope that the players just kind of start doing that at this point. I hope that the captains kind of come around Williams and just kind of allow Williams to do his thing because it can't get any worse than it already is. I fully believe that, and I don't see signs of it getting better. I really hope that it does because those division games are going to suck if you keep playing the way that you're playing. I as a true diehard fan, I hope that this game coming up against the Patriots is just a nice reset for everybody. It's a little bit of a confidence builder, and you have at least some type of momentum going in against Green Bay because, again, Bears fans, it don't look good. It don't look good. It's another crushing defeat that shouldn't have been a defeat because, the one main thing that I didn't even mention yet is the Cardinals had the number 27 or the number 28 defense in the league. It shouldn't have been this bad. I mean, yeah, sure, that they exposed the hell out of the left side of your offensive line. But I mean, we knew that that was a problem last year, and we didn't address it. And this is what you get for not addressing your offensive line because complacency kills, and you're getting your quarterback killed. He was sacked 6 times yesterday. Um, but again, if there's any silver lining, like I said, to take out of this game, Odunze finally had himself a really good game. So I am hoping that he can ball out against the Patriots because we're gonna need it. Like I said, I hope that that game is a bounce back game. It is at least a confidence builder for some guys because the gauntlet officially starts after this week, and I think that the 49ers should still be a winnable game with all the injuries that they're going up against. And the last time we played Seattle, we beat them. So you're hoping for a miracle in these in your division games, and you got to hope that someone chasing that wild card spot ends up being a big time loser because the Commanders are leading their division, and you have to hope that they win their division at this point because they had the tiebreaker over you. So you got to beat, and you just lost against Arizona, so you wouldn't have a tiebreaker over them. You basically got to luck into going up basically against Seattle and going up against San Francisco for that wild card spot. And unless you pull something out of your ass when it comes to these division games, and you hold tie later rules in the tiebreakers in terms of divisional wins and all that stuff, because it ain't looking good. It ain't looking good. We were sitting 4-2 2 weeks ago. Now we're 4-4, and we should be a 6-2 team. But Bears fans, let me know what you think down below. Has Eberflus lost the locker room? Do you believe in your captains, DJ Moore and Caleb Williams on the offensive side? Do you believe in Kevin Byard and Jalen Johnson on the other side? Let me know. Tell me what you think down below. And do you also think that the Bears will break the tradition and fire a coordinator or a coach mid-season? I'm also curious on your thoughts about that. With that, Bears fans, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so we can beat that YouTube algorithm. You guys have a good rest of your week. I will catch you for the Wednesday injury report to see where we stand with our secondary, and I will catch you guys in the next one.